Holy fucking shit. Yuri lost supply. Yuri lost supply, dude. No way that this was a great card. Imagine if Joshua Van versus Tatsu Tire was on here. It would have been I mean, it was already an insane card, but it would have been a really, really sick card. Almost all the fights performed very well. The Johnny Walker fight sucked balls. That was like the worst fight I've seen in a long, long time. Versus Dominic Reyes. There was no point in that. That was an awful fight for both those guys. And it's like one of those fights that you watch, you're like, there shouldn't be a winner here. Because, like, yeah, Dominic Reyes I think he might have won, but also Johnny Walker did way more output. It was like both of them were throwing nothing with consequence and it was such low output. But anyways, the main event was insane. Josh Hokit's fight was insane. Co-main was also really, really good with Paulo Costa. Crazy fight card. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and reactions on all the fights. Thank you guys for tuning in every week for the predictions and the breakdowns. I know it's kind of low lift YouTube content, but this is like my second channel, and this is just something I enjoy doing. So if you guys are following and subscribing, I appreciate it. I'm going to be here every week just throwing this up because I personally enjoy it, and B, if this channel grows into something down the line, it would be awesome as well. I don't think I did awful for predictions this week. I picked Josh Hokit. I picked Paulo Costa. I did pick Yuri, I thought I was going to go great with the Yuri pick until we'll get it. He got fucking smoked. But otherwise, I did pretty good. I picked Charles Radtke in this one to win. I just thought that he would be a little bit better, more well-rounded with like the grappling and everything like that. And just also have a little bit of advantage in the striking. Prado is good, but these guys are both good. They're not great, but they're both good. Prado is like very flat. He's very flat-footed, and he's fighting like this like kind of slow boxing style, but he doesn't have the same explosive power that like somebody like Ilya and those guys have. And I know he's technically the taller fighter here, but he always seems a little bit smaller in the cage than the other guys. He's fighting up a weight. If he could cut down one more weight class, I think he would have a lot better success. But I know it's going to be a big weight cut for him because he's already pretty lean at this weight class. But he gets hit in a lot of his fights, and his grappling deficiencies are, I mean, if you're getting dominated on the ground by Charles Radtke, then you got some grappling stuff to work on, clearly. But he's got a lot of heart. He always takes a beating in his fights, man, which honestly you don't like to see, but he has a heart. He's always there trying to win the fight. But yeah, he just got outclassed in this fight. Made a couple like poor decisions, but for the most part, Charles Radtke was just like a little bit of a step ahead. Not crazily ahead, but a solid step ahead. But good win from Charles Radtke. It wasn't anything wild, but it was a good win. His post-fight interview is insane. Absolutely. If you haven't seen it already, go watch it. There's a couple guys in these cards that have just crazy post-fight interviews, and you're like, brother, what's going on? Next fight, I got wrong, actually. I picked Kelvin Gaslam. I didn't think there was really a way that Vicente Luque would be able to beat him. I thought that Kevin Gaslam would have a big advantage in the striking, which he did for the most part, like until he got dropped, but he did. Yeah, he had an advantage in the striking. He was definitely the faster, cleaner, more technical fighter. He was really doing a good job of being on the front foot, pressuring Vicente Luque. I didn't, because Kevin's chin's so good, or Calvin's chin's so good that I didn't see Vicente Luque necessarily being the guy that's gonna drop him. I did say my predictions that like maybe Vicente Luque could rock him and sub him, which is kind of exactly what happened, but to be honest, I didn't really see that happening. Kevin Gaslam's got pretty good submission defense, and I figured he'd be, and good grappling takedown defense and stuff. I figured he'd be fine against Luque. I didn't, and I still don't rate Vicente Luque's grappling all that much. He's really good at Darces and stuff like that, but you don't really see him get it much unless he has somebody hurt. So I did think he'd be able to rock Calvin and then follow up and get that submission like the way he did, but good on him. It was a great win, great submission. He's very slow and flat-footed and kind of naturally a little bit unathletic, but he did look good in this fight. He looked better in this fight than he has in previous fights. So it was a good win from Vicente Luque for sure. I did think Kelvin Gaslam would get past him, but I really didn't think this was a good. What? Did this fight got turned over to a draw? No, bro. Yeah, what? Why does this say draw? UFC website's fucking awful. But Chris Padilla won the fight. So I don't know what's going on here. They got to change that because they announced Chris Padilla as the winner in the fight. I mean, I guess we can go check. Chris Padilla, bro. Let's see what his Tapology. Dude, he had Afro back in the day, man. Let's see if Tapology announced it as a draw. Really? A draw? No. What? Draw? That's so weird. I remember there being some controversy after the fight about them saying like, oh, like the scores were coming in late and stuff like that. But Chris Padilla clearly won that fight, in my opinion. Well, not clearly, but he won the fight in my opinion. It was a very close fight, but he won not close. He was doing the majority of the damage. It's much higher output. He got busted up a little bit, but Chris Padilla won that fight. They announced him as winning that fight. Super weird. That's a majority decision. I thought Chris Padilla would win this fight. That was my prediction. I thought that he won it kind of not with ease, but he has just such good output and he's very technical. He avoids big shots well. He always looks for elbows. He's got good grappling and he's well rounded. And he just basically I would say he was a more technical fighter than Marcos Medeiros. Marcos is Markel has kind of got like the more slick striking, the more technical, fast rhythm striking. But Padilla's just got a really good like kind of Muay Thai, walk forward and he's just chipping away constantly and he's always throwing vicious little elbows and mixing in other shots like that. He had a great fight. I thought Chris Padilla won that easily. So interesting that it's a decision. Like not easily, but he won the fight by far. Picked Tatiana Suarez. That was kind of a given. She's just going to out-grapple the shit out of Lupe Godinez. Although she did get dropped right at the beginning and I was like, oh my God. I got this one wrong, but not much to talk about. Tatiana Suarez kind of does what Tatiana Suarez does and then had a big crash out about her victory, which is okay. She was celebrating. I picked Esteban Brivich just because I wanted to win. I said in the predictions he's probably not going to win, but I wanted him to win. He just got grappling fucked by Mateus Gamrot. We kind of all saw that coming as well. Mateus Gamrot, like, he's going to, unless you're a really high level grappler as well, he's going to out-grapple you. And the people that he doesn't out-grapple their strikers like Dan Hooker and stuff like that, like he did out-grapple them. It's just they were able to keep it on the feet long enough to win a close decision and stuff like that. So I don't know. It was a very tough uphill battle fight for Esteban Brivich. It was one of those fights where you want him to win because he got more entertaining fight style. He's kind of on the come up, but you kind of know that he's probably gonna get taken down and held there and maybe submitted, which is exactly what happened. He got submitted and held there for 2 rounds, pretty much. He has a very kick-heavy style, and he just made the takedowns too easy for Gamrot to get. Like, Gamrot, once he gets a hold of you, whether it's your leg or like the body lock and stuff like that, he's pretty good at like chain wrestling to get you down. And Esteban Brivich made it way too easy for him to get a hold of him, if that makes sense. Like, the first round he threw a kick, got caught, taken down. Second round, throwing kicks a lot, and then just like, standing in that switch stance where the leg is right there, where it's easy for him to reach down, grab it, and just kind of like overthrew. Like the second round, he was doing okay, and then he just overcommitted to a shot, trying to like, I guess obviously like hurt Mateus Gamrot, KO him or whatever, but just overthrew on a shot. Mateus Gamrot ducked under, straight on to takedown. Pretty easy win. I picked Kevin Holland in this one as well, so I think I've only got the Kelvin Gaslam one 2 out of the 5 wrong or 6 wrong. Picked Kevin Holland. I thought he was going to win this one pretty easily. He looked great against Randy Brown, honestly. Randy Brown showed some insane heart. I did not think that he would look this good in the fight. Like, he looked really good in the grappling. I thought like when Kevin Holland had him on the ground in the grappling scenarios, it was going to be Kevin Holland's going to darce him. And he damn near almost did get the dar stroke on him. That was so locked in, and the fact that Randy Brown didn't tap and fought out of that, very, very impressive. I think 90% of the other fighters would have fought out of that. Randy Brown's striking is good. He's good with his long shots, but he's just low output, and he doesn't do as well in not a clean boxing fight or clean striking fight. And Kelvin Holland does some weird stuff that kind of throws you off, and he did a really, really good job of tons of low kicks at the beginning at Randy Brown. Randy Brown's got a long stance, so his legs are right there to be chopped, and Kevin Holland did a great job of that. He's always ducking and moving out of the way with his head up like this, and there was a lot of shots that were very close to like putting him out, which we'll get into it. There's a couple of fighters that were just like, they're instead of just trying to slip punches, they're just like leaning back like this and keep leaning back and running away, or like just stepping back. And it's a dangerous game you play, man. Dangerous game you play. But Kevin Holland, being the longer fighter, that usually does work. He wasn't a longer fighter in this fight, but similar height. But yeah, it worked well enough for him, and he was landing some really good shots on striking himself. I would say Kevin Holland won the striking exchanges. He was landing big shots, and the low kicks were really adding up. And then the grappling, obviously, Kevin Holland was doing his thing. But entertaining fight. Bro was asking if he wanted to play basketball and shit with him midway through the fight afterwards, have a basketball match. I picked Aaron Pico to win as well. I thought this one was a pretty easy one to pick. But I did think Aaron Pico would get him out of there pretty quickly. And based on the shots Aaron Pico landed, I thought, I mean, fuck me, Patricio Pitbull's got a chin on him, man. Most people would be out from those shots. Aaron Pico looked really, really, really good in this fight. His boxing looked super crisp. Everything he's throwing strike-wise was super, like, it was there to fuck you up. Like, even the jabs, double jabs, 1, 2, 3. He's throwing a lot of 1, 2, 3 combos, but really hard. Sitting down on the punches really, really well. Sneaking them around the guard. Lots of good body shots. Slipping a lot of shots. Really good pressure. People were thinking maybe he wouldn't have as much forward pressure. I was kind of figuring that this is how he fights. He's really good at the forward pressure, and it's what's successful for him. And just because he got KO'd in the last fight, I don't think he's going to abandon that. And if you have this high, like this forward pressure, like kind of like, we'll get into Azamat Mirzakhanov next, but he kind of fights like similar where he's on the pressure with the boxing, like looking for big shots, big combos. There's a bunch of other fighters that fight like this with good grappling mixed in that do really well. Obviously, Ilya, Kevin Vlahos, and what's the other guy, Larion Silva, I believe was his name, that fought like a couple weeks ago. That was talking about they fight like this, and they're really good with that skill. And honestly, Patricio Pitbull, I don't know how he made it through the whole 15 minutes of this fight. Like, I have no idea. how he made it through the first 15 minutes of this fight. Like, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know. You got the shit beat out of him, but Aaron Pico looked really, really good. And I do think he does this to pretty much everybody in the division, minus like a couple of the guys in the top 5. He's gonna do really, really well against. And I do think his Lerone Murphy fight. Lerone Murphy is super good, but he got thrown in against Patricio Pitbull is not in the same level as Lerone Murphy is right now. And he got thrown in against Lerone Murphy and honestly looked really good up until the point he got caught. So, it's one of those things you can always get caught. But yeah, dude, Aaron Pico looks really good. Very awesome to see him on get a win in the UFC at a high level and then see where his career goes from here. This one was an easy one to pick as well. Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. Pick Cub Swanson. I think he's just a way more technical fighter, way better grappler, better everywhere. He showed that easily. Nate Landwehr is one of these guys who's he's just kind of a dog, but he's not super high level. And Cub Swanson, even though he's 42, he's still got a lot of high level skill, and he just put an ass whooping on Nate Landwehr. This was one of the best Cub Swanson performances I've seen, honestly. He's one of the better ones. And, dude, he looks so good, so slick in the striking. You could tell for a couple months he was just doing so well that he started to relax a little bit. And he's like, no, I got to lock back in. And he's back on quick movements, feints, and stuff like that. He looked super good in this fight. He looked really, really good in this fight. And, man, what a finish. He just beat the shit out of Nate Landwehr in the stand-up and then flatlined him pretty much. There was some follow-up shots, but he really didn't need them. Nate Landwehr was he was grappling the ref at the end of the fight. So, dude, unreal retirement from Cub Swanson. That was a great performance to finish off the fight. This next fight sucked. There's not much to talk about it. Dominic Reyes, Dominic Reyes got all this hype because he was KOing some people, and then he had the close fight with John Jones. But after that, he just kind of looked pretty shit. Not shit, but not great. Low output, not a lot of striking, not a lot of high level striking, decent striking. But dude, if you're going tit for tat, or you're getting on the same striking level as Johnny Walker, you need fucking help, man. Johnny Walker is one of the least technical strikers in the division. He's goofy as fuck. If you're gonna, you should be the more technical striker in this fight. And honestly, Dominic Reyes didn't really look like it, and he didn't do enough. I know I'm giving Dominic Reyes a little bit of heat because he won, but he could have easily lost, man. 42 strikes to 34, and none of the strikes that Dominic Reyes threw were significant at all. They weren't doing any damage to Johnny Walker. So it's how do you really call it? How do you really score this fight? It could have easily gone to Johnny Walker. I mean, it was a split decision, but still, I don't know. One of these fights that just sucked. There was 42 strikes during the entire fight. 10 first round, 17, 9. Dominic Reyes threw 9 significant strikes in 5 fucking minutes, bro. You know how hard that is to do? You know how hard that is to do, only throw 9 strikes that land? That's like actually impossible. So I don't know. Anyways, I really did. This fight was sucked. But the Josh Hokit fight versus Curtis Blades was an absolute bar burner. Dude, Josh Hokit, man, everybody, he's going to be everybody's new favorite fighter. He's such a fucking character. And it's all really just an act again. And people are like, oh, well, what does that mean? Like, why would you act like that? But it's entertaining. He's flipping Curtis Blades off. He's talking shit. There's real consequences if he because he's talking shit to the presser. There's real consequences if he loses. And, just makes it more entertaining, adding that little bit of like UFC. There needs to be if every person was like this, it would be like, holy fuck, like I'm not watching this shit. But if you have like one person every other card that's like this kind of personality, polarizing, it's entertaining. It really is entertaining. And Josh Hokit, man, dude, he put on a fucking performance. Curtis Blades is top 5. He's been around for a long time. I did pick Josh Hokit, but he's been around for a long time, and it's tough. It's a tough fight. Josh Hokit, the thing with him is he's not very small, but he's small for heavyweight. He's definitely fighting at heavyweight because the skill level is, it's lower. But he's not big for heavyweight, so he is gonna struggle against some of the more athletic, bigger heavyweights like Volkov and obviously Cyril Gahn and obviously Tom Aspinall and pretty much anybody other than Curtis Blades. He's fighting Derek Lewis next, which they announced on the card, just made it in the back room. I think he has a good chance of winning that fight. Like, he is very hittable, so Derek Lewis could just KO him immediately. I could also see that. But if Derek Lewis doesn't KO him, he's going to outpace him for sure. His cardio didn't hold up quite as good as I thought it would. I thought it would hold up a little bit better. Curtis Blades showed insane heart in this fight as well. Josh Hokit, I thought was going to KO him. Like, I thought the fight was over right at the beginning. Josh Hokit has really good forward pressure. And you can see glimpses of when he's actually taking the fight seriously and fighting to like his actual skill level instead of just goofing around and fucking around in the fight. He's landing really crisp, clean shots. Like there's a couple combinations there where he's just 1, 2, 3, 4 uppercut and stuff like that and landing like nice shots on Curtis Blades. And there's other times where he just spams like an overhand with his chin up 5 times in a row, where he's just jabbing, getting his jab back at the same time. Like, you can tell when he's actually like trying to be technical and really lock in and finish somebody. He puts together some good combos and stuff. And then when he's just kind of fucking around at the beginning of the fight, he's just getting, he's just chin up, just. And the thing with him is he's not afraid to like step in and try to land big shots. And again, with these heavyweights, what I said in the prediction is like Josh Hokit throws a lot of output. He's on the pressure. He knows how to follow up when he has somebody hurt. And the thing is, even though he's a smaller heavyweight, if he lands one big shot on you, like, it's going to hurt you, and then he's going to follow up, and usually that'll get you out of there, which is exactly what happened in the first round. Super surprised that Curtis Blades was able to survive. Josh Hokit did a good job in the grappling. Even when he got taken down and stuff, he was able to get back up, so that's a good sign for him against one of the better grapplers in the division. His cardio did look a little bad in the second and the third round, and he's kind of like, if you guys ever watched Attack on Titan, he kind of walks like one of those Titans, bro. He's just like, I think part of it, like the reason it looked like he was getting hit really hard and he was reacting to a lot of the shots, like getting rocked and stumbling around. I honestly think most of that was just fatigue and him being a fucking goofball. Because you could see once he landed a good shot on Curtis Blades or like hurt him, he would lock back in and like a lot better posture stance and throwing clean shots. But otherwise, he was just like fatigued, just like blasting myself in the head, bop, bop. Getting just like kind of smoked and hit with big shots, but also like obviously he was getting hit hard with big shots from Curtis Blades, but a lot of the time I think it was also just mostly fatigue and him just being a fucking goofball. Like, he's walking around the fight after, like he's stumbling around just for fun and stuff like that. He's doing it at the presser and everything like that. So obviously did take some damage, but the damage he caused in Curtis Blades was impressive. He threw a lot of strikes, man. They both did like 200. Almost 200 for Josh Hokit. Great fight. This was a barn burner of a fight. Not very technical. Not technical at all. Like, the skill level in this fight shown in the striking was appalling, but it was a very entertaining fight. The next fight, Paulo Costa got this one. I think I only got like 3 fights wrong on this card, which is pretty good. The next fight here, Paulo Costa versus Azamat Murzakanov. I picked Paulo Costa, but tough fight for Paulo Costa. I thought at the beginning of the fight it wasn't looking so good. the eye poke honestly kind of did swing the tide a little bit. The thing is, I was kind of saying the prediction, like if Paulo Costa lets himself get back down a bit, he's going to have a hard time. But if he just like comes out as the aggressor, the guy moving forward, throwing big body kicks and stuff like that, I think he's going to be able to win this fight. And he didn't do that until the third round. Like he didn't like kind of start imposing his will and being the bully in there until the late second, third round. And that's when he started taking over. And what actually like kind of ended the fight, I mean, he hurt Azamat in the second round, I believe. But what really kind of finished the fight was just the blasting. Dude, Paulo Costa kicks so fucking hard. And if you're in an open stance with him and he actually decides to just spam that body kick, bro, I don't care if you're blocking like this. That shit's gonna break your arm eventually. Like you see people get their arms broken at like 125 from shit like that. You got Paulo Costa blasting you. It's not gonna end well, man. So yeah, I'm gonna grab a quick phone charger here because my computer's gonna die. I'll be back in 1 sec. But I guess I have the mic on me so you guys can hear me talk. But yeah, dude, honestly, Paulo Costa, I thought that fight was something that he was going to struggle with, have to avoid the big shot. But he's got a good chin, and it's not something that he doesn't usually get dropped and finished like very often in this fight. So I was kind of thinking that he'd be able to survive like the early shots from Azamat, and then I was hoping that he would just be the guy that's pressuring the fight and the guy that's leading the dance. And if that was the case, I kind of figured he'd win. But if that wasn't the case, like it wasn't in the first or two rounds, beginning of the first round, then I thought Azamat would win. But Azamat versus Conor looked good in this fight. It really just looked like in the third round, he got hit with some big shots. He's like, holy shit, I'm no longer the guy that's just blasting people. And then he broke his arm. He's like, oh, fuck. Like you could tell like after, it was definitely a broken arm or something like that. But after the body kicks at the beginning of the third round, that it really slowed him down. Last fight of the night, bro. What a fucking dude. What a fight. This was kind of crazy, man. I'm not going to lie. It was kind of crazy. I really didn't see, I thought Yuri was going to win this fight. I know Carlos Ulberg could land a clean shot, but I didn't see him flatlining Yuri like that because the only person we've seen be able to flatline Yuri like that has been Alex Pereira. And you don't really associate Carlos Ulberg lead check hook as having the same fight-ending, devastating power as Alex Pereira. But man, did he ever fucking do it? And he blew out, it looked like he blew out his ACL. We'll have to see what actually comes out, but that looked very much like an ACL. And the fact that he fought through and was able to find that shot, very, very impressive. We know we got Yuri out here on the internet saying like, oh man, like I got complacent and like I felt bad for the guy, so I show him mercy and then I get finished. But bro wasn't really showing him mercy. He's like, he tore his ACL and then Yuri's pointing at it like, and then blasting his other leg with kicks. I thought it was his front leg at first that was the one that actually got damaged or that he tore something on, but it was his back leg. So interesting. When I was watching the fight, I was like, damn, for sure. Because it looks like he's kind of getting hit with these kicks. He's maybe stumbling and stuff like that. But it looks like it was his front leg. But no, it was his back leg just from the weight shifting. And it's pretty crazy to tear your ACL stepping back, throwing a punch. I mean, I'm going through a torn ACL right now. And I fell from like 40 feet on a ski jump. But not stepping back, throwing a check hook. Anyways, it is what it is. These are big dudes moving fast. Those things can happen for sure. But yeah, dude, you could tell Carlos Ulberg, even though he tore his ACL, he didn't go like, oh, like this sucks, like the fight's over, or anything like that. Not for 1 second. There was not 1 second where Carlos Ulberg doubted himself less after that injury than he did at the beginning of the fight. You could just see he's just chin up. He's like, nope, I'm good. You could tell he was so locked in. He's like, doesn't matter what happens, like injury wise, I'm gonna win this fight. And bro, did he fucking ever? That check hook he landed on Yuri was so, I mean, it was so clean, such a clean lead hook. And yeah, Yuri was getting a little bit reckless trying to find the finish as he always does. But he threw a straight, like his straight is here, his chin is here. There's no throwing my straight like this. Nothing. No shoulder block, nothing blocking the chin. His chin is like this. He's throwing it straight. Maybe this hand is up after he throws the 1-2, but his chin is just here. And it was just there to be caught by Carlos Ulberg, and he timed it perfectly. I thought maybe Carlos Ulberg would land shots like that, but I didn't see those shots flatlining Yuri in the way they did. So anyways, great win from Carlos Ulberg. I know like some are like, man, he's a little bit of a boring fighter, but that was an amazing performance. And, after tearing his ACL, getting dominated by Yuri in the beginning because of the injury, to come back and find a KO like that, very, very, very impressive. And he's definitely one of the best guys in this weight division. So interesting stuff. This was an awesome card. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I enjoy making these videos for you. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.